してるより愛してることを伝える言葉がないのはきっと言葉に頼らず
Good morning, everyone. Ma Terry here, along with our fabulous co-star, Miss Lucy. Yeah, she's the star, not me. Right. And the question is, now y'all know I've traveled from west to east and back to the west, and I parked for free all along the way. But the question is, East Coast versus West Coast, is there a difference in the stealth camping methods that I used? Yes, there is a huge difference. Why is there a difference? Well, let's talk a little history first. Lucy, you want a history lesson? Of course she doesn't. All right. So we all know, we don't really know, but Columbus got here in 1492, allegedly. And, then more people came and more people came, and they made the original 13 states, I believe it is. And, so the East Coast kept packing and packing full of people, and they had little narrow roads, and they were cobblestone everywhere. So that's how the East Coast got developed. Hundreds of years, dense population, people really didn't want to come to the West Coast. And then all of a sudden, I think it was 1810, the westward expansion began. And, that's when the Lewis and Clark guys, they started exploring the river. And, so we start going westward. Now, if you look at the size of the East Coast cities and everything, they're itty bitty compared to the rest of the United States. So we began coming out west to these huge, wide open spaces. And then I think it was in 1848, gold was found in them there hills. So everybody came out this way, right? All right, so that's a little history of the place. Now, why is the history of the United States so important? I got pictures. Oh, and I tried to drive around this morning to get some video, but I'm going to show you. We're into gloom, doom. There we go. Not a lot of pretty pictures out there. And we're back. Hold on. Let me get the pictures I drew for you. And yes, everyone knows Ma Terry loves in Southern California stealth camping in front of apartment complexes. Why? Because if I parked at the Walmart down the street, they have that little security guard with the little yellow light on top, and he will bust me in 5 minutes. Even though I'm stealth, he can figure these things out. Stealth just means, not annoying the general public. Oh, and also when I say stealth camping, like when I camp at Walmarts throughout the city, I consider it stealth camping. Why? Because a lot of Walmarts, some Walmarts, if I go in and say, is it okay if I sleep in my car overnight on your parking lot? They're like, oh, that's too weird, but they will allow RVs. So that's why I don't ask, and that's why I consider it stealth camping. Now, y'all know I have successfully stealth camped for over 5 years and never have gotten a knock on the door. But I'm going to talk to you about the differences on the East Coast and the West Coast. All right, drawings. So we have huge densities of population on the East Coast. So when it was built back in the day, that's East Coast. Okay, what you have are little narrow streets, and like the street my sister lives on, basically you have car parking on one side, and cars can go left to right, but you got to pull into where there's space and let a car pass by. So they don't have the street parking like we do. What they do is you drive into the property, and they have parking spaces for the renters. That's my apartment drawing. Cool. All right, but on the West Coast, yay, thankfully for westward expansion, we had these wide open spaces. And nothing's to scale, guys, okay? It was just a quickie drawing. So that means there's ample street parking. Now, this could be an apartment complex. This could be an apartment complex. A lot of times there's 3 or 4 apartment complexes together. And some of the apartment complexes, they'll have the bare minimum parking for the renters. But if a renter has a friend over, they got to do street parking. So that's why we have all the street parking here. And that's why on the West Coast, that's what I do. I love stealth camping on the street. And, people ask me, like, weren't you ever nervous at first? Are you kidding? I was scared. I was really scared. It took a long time for my nerves to calm down. And, the more I did it, the more I practiced it, the better I got. And, but at first I was stealth camping in Pomona, California. It was hard, but I vowed I'm going to learn how to do this. All right. So, I didn't pay for any overnight camping all throughout the country, right? How did I do that? On the East Coast, they have a lot of small cities, unlike this city to where you have the Walmart cop with the woo, woo, woo. So at their Walmarts, they don't have security or anything. And they have, I always look for ones with good people around it. Like I said, nothing with the skull and crossbones, graffiti tagging or anything. But the places like Walmart, the Cracker Barrel, the Sam's Club, Bass Pro, casinos, welcome centers, rest areas, most of them on the East Coast, they don't care. They don't care at all. And most of it, I found really good sections. There are sections on the East Coast. Now, on the West Coast, we have the apartment complexes, but on the West Coast, we have this huge amount of BLM land, Bureau of Land Management. So, even at Quartzsite, what I do, you shouldn't do this, but, I may be doing Quartzsite things all day, going to bead shops and everything, running around. Then at 7, 8 o'clock at night, when everybody's asleep, I just pull onto the dirt road. I fall asleep and wake up, or I'll park at the Love's truck stop. No one cares, especially around BLM property. So that's a plus for the West Coast and the apartments that I use a lot. So that's one of the two big differences. East Coast, you don't have a lot of BLM land. You do have some, but it's not so plentiful like it is on the West Coast. And I wanted to touch on one thing real quick. On the East Coast, what you have, let's say it rains in Massachusetts, there's a good chance it's going to be raining in New Jersey all the way down to Florida. The whole eastern seaboard gets the same type of weather. But out here in Southern California, what we have are called microclimates. So let's say it's really, really hot out there in Palm Springs. Palm Springs is an hour and a half east of Santa Monica. It's 100 degrees. I can drive to Santa Monica and it can be 50 degrees at night. It can be really cool. Or the Inland Empire, and we're at an in-between temperature. If I want to go skiing, I'll just drive up to Big Bear. So we have microclimates, and a lot of people on the East Coast aren't familiar with that. Well, Miss Lucy and I hope that we have helped someone out there today. Please smash that thumbs up button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. And I love reading the comments, and I'm going to be doing comments soon. I'm doing it in between doctor's appointments. It's amazing how I come into town, and yesterday I've got 4 things done. Today, 2 things done. We got a little while to go before we're back out there, but I still intend to be at Van Camp and Woody's place, wherever they say it's going to be, December 16th in Ehrenberg. So I will keep you guys posted. All right. Goodbye from Ma Terry and Miss Lucy, and we will see you down the road.